Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Kickstarter Crap. Today we are going to be talking about the LEGO Creator Pirate Ship. I don't know why I started like that. I just said hello when I did my first take of this and it reminded me of those old iDubbbz intros. I don't know if he still does like that. But today we're going to be talking about LEGO Creator Pirate Ship. I might make this into 3 separate videos where I talk about each separate build because on its own, there's a good amount to talk about. This was quite the expensive set. This is the most expensive LEGO set I have purchased in a long, long time. Perhaps the most, probably, I don't know, the first one that retailed for over $100 that I've purchased in at least 10 years. Maybe like 9 years. But it's been a while. And I wanted to come back. I wanted to get, I just wanted to get like a big LEGO set because I'm always on that small game grind, you know? Either that or sets that I've had for years and just kind of found, or the stuff I found for cheap at yard sales that retailed for a lot of money long ago, but nowadays, I mean, you could find it, but it's still probably expensive on the aftermarket. But anyways, this is a LEGO pirate ship. LEGO's been doing this thing with the Creator line lately, where they sort of insert elements of their older in-house themes into Creator and sort of make one really nice set to kind of encapsulate the vibe you would get in like a wave of pirates, castle, or Vikings, or whatever, or space. And these sets are cool. I don't think they're a perfect substitute for a normal theme, as some parts of them I wish they were more specialized. But this pirate ship I feel is a bit of an exception, where the pieces that normally would be specialized that aren't are actually very cool. And we will get into that, how this LEGO pirate ship differs from the 2015 one, the 2009 one, even like the, I don't know. We'll get to it. But first, I think we should look at the minifigure. Hello? First, I think we should look at the minifigures. The first minifigure we have is this sort of low-ranking pirate. I like his little expression and his shirt. I am not sure if that's a unique design. It is quite simple, which I do like in LEGO sets when they have like very simple torso designs and face prints. It has a very classic feel with that. The bandana works here, another classic piece. I enjoy the interesting shade of brown they have for the legs. It seems unique. And at least in the first build, they recommend you give him a telescope and a pistol. The next minifigure is, I suppose you'd say this is the first mate. That torso has definitely been used before, in the 2009 pirate lines at least. I do like this sort of gruff, old Persian-looking face print. I think that fits the torso excellently. Got some back printing. Another very simple design, I like it. Gray pants and a classic 3-point pirate cap. They recommend you give him a sword in this first build. Let's get it better. Sorry about the garbage lighting in this room. It's just I'm working with what I've got right now. But the next minifigure, and probably my favorite in the set, he's not exactly unique, but I love him anyway. It is the LEGO skeleton. These guys are classic. I will never get tired of them. They're just so fun. I love it. I love them. You know, like, he's a skeleton. Look at him. Face print's perfect. They've sort of made the arms in this sort of idealized way. They're not like robotic. Like, I think they used to use those battle droid arms. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. They've come a long way, and this one just looks perfect. I'm happy they're still using the same old face mold. They know it's amazing. They know it's perfect. And I guess this technically means minifigures have noses, as why would a hole be there if they didn't? Ooh, spooky. And the last minifigure, and honestly, perhaps the most disappointing, is the pirate captain. Now, this guy, he's got a good design, you know. I like how they give him, I like how they try to change the colors a little bit than normal pirates. They give him a bit of a gunmetal gray, I think that's what they call it, for his peg leg. He's got a blue coat instead of a red coat. I think Redbeard, the classic LEGO pirate dude, usually has a black coat, so it's a nice little contrast. It does seem a little bit like less mature, but I mean, it is a creator set, so you know. I like his hat, of course. And his face print, I believe, is the same as Redbeard. So, you know, he's got that for him. He's got this nice classic gold doodah. But my problem with him is what isn't here, and I get actually not really. My problem here is the opacity with this printing. The yellow just does not come through that well, and it's just a shame because the silver and the graphic design looks very good, but that just bothers me so much. It just does not fit right there. I wish I didn't notice this stuff, but like once it was pointed out to me, I could never unsee it. Just the opaque yellowness, which is a shame. And another thing, he does not have a hook hand. I know every pirate does. There doesn't need to be a hook hand with every pirate, but he's the captain. Like, he's gotta have a hook hand, and it's very disappointing. And honestly, I don't want to be too negative, but the minifigure selection in this set is pretty disappointing to me, at least personally. I don't know if it's the amount or the simplicity, but I would have hoped for at least maybe no, I don't know, either one more minifigure or a more, I don't know, either one more minifigure, maybe a red coat or something. I really wanted a female pirate because I feel like that would have rounded out the group well if there was just these two and then a female pirate or something. Just like something unique, you know? Because these guys, they feel a bit standard. And I know creators definitely tread the line of that sort of generic brand Lego, but I don't know. I just would have wanted at least one more unique figure. And I know the Redbeard print is good, it's new, but even if that was just a new print, it would have made this feel a little bit new, the selection. I didn't realize how few. And again, it wouldn't be that disappointing if I didn't have like a clear point of comparison, as the 2009 Lego pirate ship that I had when I was a child had an amazing minifigure selection. There was like 8 minifigures, a mermaid, red coats, like the princess, like all this cool stuff. And they had like the same sort of simple designs as these guys do, but in that case, then that was 10 years ago. And the Pirates of Barracuda Bay, don't even get me started. That set, of course, it's more expensive and it's retired now, but that had an amazing minifigure selection, including the real Redbeard and all these other stuff, and the printing was immaculate. And yeah, these guys just don't really live up to that, unfortunately. But that doesn't make them inherently bad. All right, let's go on to the set build itself, or rather, the side build, as this one has a wonderful side build that I really enjoy. It is this shark. Now, this is a completely brick-built shark, and I think that's awesome. Sometimes these sets come with a sort of Lego system animal shark, and those are also good. I never realized just how charming the small one is with this like little derpy face. Very cute. And the one from 2009 I have a lot of nostalgia for, as that was the one I always had. But I really like this guy. As you can see, he has a ball joint. He has a ball joint on his jaw, so he can make stupid faces, which I love. His fins also have ball joints. As you can see, sorry if this is out of focus. Which is awesome. And so could his tail. Just very, old, like the one-piece Lego sharks have very little mobility, so I'm glad they took the opportunity to make this one where you can move them all around. I also love his teeth, his fangs. Like very clever how they did that around this sort of one piece to make it look very good. I just love this. This is a great build. Like after I built this, I was like, oh, I'm in for something special. Also, side builds these 2 cannons, just typical cannons, but they have wheels on them. They actually shoot 1x1 pillars, which I will show off. So what you do is you flick this, it's gonna go somewhere really far. Yeah, it's fun. I love this feature. These cannons have been used for a while now. This is the most modern incarnation of this. I'm never gonna find that cylinder again. Whatever. These are the most modern incarnation of this design. I believe there's an older one from 90s Pirates. I remember there's like some sort of controversy about these. Like, they were banned originally for being too violent or something, but I love them. Maybe it was like they can only be put in American sets. There's something up with them. I love them. This is one of my favorite pieces. It's awesome. And getting 2 of them, always a good thing. Always a good thing. We also get a treasure chest, which is filled with gold and diamonds and good stuff. So yeah, good pirate stuff, you know, standard, but cool. Onto the pirate ship itself, I quite like how this thing is designed. Unlike the other Lego pirate ships that sort of rely on gigantic parts, this one is almost completely brick built. The sails, the base of it, even something as simple as the pillars, these are mostly bricks, you know, which I think is cool because it gives it a completely unique vibe from the other Lego pirate ships that, you know, rely on those big parts, which is okay. It's cool, you know, some people don't want to build, you know, up all this curvature, but I love that kind of thing. I think it was really satisfying. Specifically this bottom part, just seeing it build up, like I love the curvature and the edges there. Can you see that? Sorry, I can't really look at the camera while touching it too well, but the curvature here is just beautiful. It's a very, I don't know, it's a very sleek design. And I like the little pops of color. This green, I mean, I'm sure that's there for like alternate builds, but it sticks out very not coolly. They're these weird, sort of, not stringy, but rubbery pieces that they use as, instead of like, I don't know what you call them, the sort of net that you'd use to climb up there. And those net pieces, I remember, were a pain for me to get. New ones were when I was remaking my old Lego pirate ship. So, you know, having a more cheap alternative that's like, works just as well is also good. I guess I'll finish my conversation about these sails. I like how they have designs of bricks there and studs out, really reminding you that these are Legos. These are Lego designs, because Lego designs are wonderful. There's a spot to pop in a cannon here, which I think is awesome. I love when they do this because, you know, it adds an extra thing to the set. You can have the cannons in or out. They're not just stuck there. They're completely usable. There's just about enough space to flick it if you have at the right angle. I'm at a weird angle right now, so not exactly perfect, but, you know, it works. The angle of this thing on the wheels should fit, which is cool. I'm glad that they accounted for that. This set does have a few weird angles, but I think that adds a sort of unique element to it. I'll get into those angles later. Got flags that go up. And yeah, the out exterior is wonderful. I especially love how the colors, I'm gonna try to get a closer view of this. I especially love how the colors of the black the black continues all the way from, sorry, this is weird. I especially love how the colors of the black sort of continue. Okay, God, this tripod's getting in the way. Fuck. I especially love how that black trim sort of continues and wraps around the entire thing. Sort of coming at a bit of a nice point here where it circles around. It's just very satisfying. And the brown layer below it sort of does the same thing. It's just the layering is very cool. I like how there's a parity between the red and yellow squares right there in this part, which we'll get into in a minute. And yeah, I just love that sort of design where you just pile on the layers and have like them consistent, which is what makes this green kind of not cool, you know. It's not that bad, it's not the end of the world, but could have been avoided. Something else on the exterior is this mermaid who is brick built. They're a little bit lame, like they're very small, you know. The old pirate ships had a mermaid, so this one's gonna have a mermaid, but the other ones were a figure or a little bit of a better brick built one. This one, I mean, it gets the job done. It uses this sort of neck, this minifigure accessory piece quite well for the hair. Yeah. There is a front sail that is on here. It is brick built at one big piece, which I appreciate. And up here, there's an anchor, which floats on there that you can hoist up, which is pretty good, very effective use of simple chains. I quite like the brick built sails. It might be my favorite part of this entire build. instead of using cloth, they've opted to use one big axle in the middle for the sort of pillar and placing this on it. It's a bit loose, but it's not too strong, too heavy to just fall on. The gravity does do a good job of keeping it in place. And I do like the design that they did for the skull. They sort of sculpted out this sort of, with these small plates to make the skull, skull and crossbones. I think it came out quite nice. I like it. Down here you have some of these pieces, which I would, very cool. I like how they keep the curvature of a sail, even if it's not a cloth piece with like these sort of panels. Really? You're not gonna focus? Really? Just fucking focus. Oh my God. I like how they keep the curvature of a sail, even if they are not using cloth with these sort of panels. I would not have expected the use of that, which is always fun. I love when they use weird pieces for weird moments. Going into the interior, you have a place for the cannons and the cannonball, and you've got a sort of deck. There is not a ton of space here. This is not covered up by any sort of piece, which is okay, I guess. You need room to put your fingers in there and such. But yeah, a removable panel would have been good, as there are removable panels in the set that cover up terrain. Given there's only 3 minifigures, I guess there's not a lot of ground to cover anyway, but it would have been nice to have the option. Going into another really well-built part of the set is this. This is the sort of pirate's quarters. You open this up. You can actually, God. Another great part of the set is this sort of slanted pirate's corridors. You can actually open it up by like this. It goes on both sides. And these are on hinges. They're not like, you know, they're not gonna fall. And you can just about fit him in there if you've got small fingers. Yeah, this is possible, but it's a tight squeeze. You can get him in there. Trust me, I'm just not into it right now. I like the gold on this. This top part is at an angle, which is interesting. It's sort of not a typical Lego kind of degree you get. It rests on this black piece and can go up, more removability. I guess that would be another way to get your fingers in there so you can actually like put the pirate captain in there. The back design is quite beautiful. I like the architecture here with, will anything focus? Will anything focus? Oh my God. I quite like the angle here. It's also placed in a place where it could potentially go down, but it does not have the removability function, as it's pretty important structurally for this part. You've got some nice uses of the telescope pieces and a little gold design and a back flipper. You've also got a little brick-built Blue Jay, which I was not expecting. You know, it works. It's not a parrot, but it's a different bird, which is nice. You've got a steering wheel, which is just like a little web piece, which I think fits the job, does the job well. And yeah. On the bottom, you've got a rudder, which is nice. I like the sort of tree piece they use there to get that curve. Very cool. Looking in the pirates' corridors, it's a bit hard to get access to the pirates' corridor. It's a bit hard to look at the pirates' corridors without, you know, messing it up, but you've got a map there and a chalice. It's a nice little interior section. It's simple, but it works. The chair is pretty interesting. It's not just a normal chair, a specialized chair. It's sort of odd. I'll take it out. you sort of got this this back piece there that has some studs on it, some exposed studs. There's only one stud on the actual chair part for the captain to sit down on, but it creates a unique experience where it's like there's studs where you think there wouldn't be, and there aren't studs where you think there would be. Right here, you've got the plank. Overall, I'd say that this creator pirate ship accomplishes its goals of kind of recapturing the sort of typical tropes of a Lego pirate ship, but with completely brick-built architecture and very few specialized pieces. There are parts that I think could have been better. I really wish there was more space for, I don't know how to explain it. I wish there was more open space to like do stuff with figures. I mean, of course it's creator, so you wouldn't expect it to be very minifigure based. It's more about the design of the actual build of Legos, which I appreciate, but it just feels a bit hostile, and like so there's certain aspects of the set that when thinking about it with minifigures and trying to show off the usability, it was really frustrating because it would just come apart, and it just, you know, there were parts, I don't know, it just kind of frustrated me in that way, and I wish it didn't, because the old pirate ships definitely have a good amount of space on the deck at least, even if they were just as fragile as I found out when my sister destroyed my first pirate ship. But there are features of this that I love. I love the anchor. I love the sliding doors here. I think the brick-built sails are completely successful. I'd say that they're better than cloth sails, which is good. But there are other things that I feel like aren't accomplished as well. Like the steering wheel piece is disappointingly bland and it has a exposed Technic axle. You can't really see it. I love the trim of the ship. I love the brick-built nature of the bottom part. The way it layers is beautiful, but I would be lying if I said that I don't think this is not, I don't know, is it not as good? Maybe it's the colors, because the dark red on the 2009 pirate ship really helped to make it look beautiful, and this one looks a little bit not goofier, just not as professional. I feel like there's a bit of a weird crossroads where it's trying to be a more playful one with some aspects, a more casual one, but it's also trying to be more of a display piece, which I don't know if it works as well as you'd want it to, as this is a creator set. There aren't many play features, as it were, which makes me sad. I love play features, but yeah, it is a good set. The price point, $120. In today's money, today's Lego, not bad. The original one that I had when I was a kid, I think, was $90 or $100. Given inflation and how many more pieces this has, I think it's close to 800. I'll look at the box in a moment. But the original had 555, which is, of course, they're huge pieces in there, but that's not they're not a very large amount. And this one, you get more Legos, you know, more bang for your buck, the system works better. But yeah, I like it. It's good. I actually got this for cheaper. I got it for $88 on sale with some coupons, which I'm happy about that price. Bit of an impulse buy, but I haven't done that kind of thing in a while, so, you know, felt it was time. Yeah, I will look at the box, and either in this video or in a upcoming video, I will look at the other builds you can get, which does add a lot of value to the set. I will say, alternate builds I love alternate builds. The only part I don't like is taking apart the ones I've already made, but the idea that there are 3 separate ideas that are just already baked in and that are accessible, it's just genius, you know? It must take a lot of design work. I don't envy the designers who have to think about every single piece and how it will work in 3 different contexts, especially when they're as diverse as they are in this build, which, as we will see, these 3 sets are very similar, very different, even though they have similar tropes. Yeah, I guess for the price point, like $120, like, come on, you gotta include at least one more minifigure. 3 minifigures and a skeleton, like, come on, man. Maybe if it was $100, I'd get it, but it's just that extra 20. It's like, it's more than the other one, and it's only $40, I believe, less than Barracuda Bay, which had a billion minifigures. But yeah, it's good. Brick-built shark is amazing. I fucking adore him. Yeah, look at the box. Here's the box. This set comes with 1,260 pieces. I like how fun the art on here is. You've got someone walking off the plank. You've got that brick-built shark looking goofy, goofy and fun. 3-to-1. The yellow on creator boxes are kind of garish, but you know, it's been around so long, it's iconic at this point. You've got the alternate builds right there. That one has a brick-built horse, which is going to be interesting. And that one is a Skull Island. We will get to those soon enough. It has a boat, which is cool, and a raft. That's fun. At the top, you've just got more pictures of the sets. I do hanker for that pirate lighting of the 90s. It was just absolutely stunning in those days. But these are good renders, you know, but they'll never beat that old photography. But this is still a nice composition. Okay, that's cool. I never really thought of the idea of having him whisk himself down on the ropes. It shows off how you can move the parts, which is good. These ones, I guess, don't have those sort of play features. They're strictly models. Not strictly models, of course you can play with them. That brick-built monkey, we will get to him when we get to him. And this part opens way up, which I think will be a great feature when we get to that. This one might be the one I keep. I might rebuild this at some point, but this is awesome. Taking a look at the manual, interesting enough, there are 2 manuals. Usually creator sets, or at least the ones that I've gotten, have 3 manuals, 1 for each build. This one has 2 in this one, which is very hefty, a very large book, which I don't know why, that just makes me happy to see, like, look at that, that's very substantial. And this other one gets its own manual for whatever reason, which is interesting. Like, okay, sure, I guess. The pages, it's just like a manual, you know, nothing you wouldn't expect. At least out of this one. This one advertises the app, the building instruction app. There's some ads for other creator sets that have released around this time. I think 2020 was the release year of this. This one is pretty cool. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I like that alien and the space ideas from it. An accordion. A sneak peek and another ad. It's weird. It feels like this is supposed to be 3 manuals, but they're just like, no, bind them together. Rebuild the world. Rebuild the world. Okay, can do. Win. Yeah, interesting manuals.